Hi guys, welcome back to the next video, and today is going to be really exciting stuff. I want to talk to you about Servitor, which is the Seder version of servitors, magical servitors, something that we sort out in our mind and create. So we're going to talk about that. They're your best friend to have because you can do so much with them, and they're not just a figment of your imagination, guys. Here we go, making a nice drink. And when I'm doing this, I want you to realise that even making a drink, you can use your magic by influencing that fluid that's going to go within you. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because we need to be hydrated when we're creating a thought form. So when you're having a drink and you've got fluid, just put your hands around it and visualize that fluid becoming filled with light. Just visualize a big bubble of this around your cup and within the fluid itself. And you can just say something over it, and then you take a sip. There you go. So what is a servitor? At the end of the day, as I just said to you, it is something that if you need some help in some way, if you need assistance with your magic, for example, if you're doing like rune work and you want to hold that image of the rune while you're path working, you can get your servitor to hold that image for you so that you can then go more deeper into your path working. So in that way they can become like a working partner. Now, most of these forms are created in the shape of a human or an animal sometimes, depending on where you're coming from. Yeah, you need to get first that imprint in your mind of what it is you actually want to create. You cannot do it without being focused intently on the outcome, on what you want. So you need really to think about what you're going to be doing. So let's go up to my little room. Now, when you're thinking about doing a thought form, you have to understand that you need to know exactly if it is relevant for you. You can't just make something and then forget about it. It's got to be constructed a little bit like a puppet doll. You're going to bring this, and I don't want to call it a being because it's not, but you're going to bring this, what's in here, out here. And once it's out here, you're responsible for it. It isn't conscious as such, but it is programmed to do what you want it to do. So like anything in magic, you need to be able to program it and know how to bring it to being. Now, a lot of that is like Seder itself. Seder is very much within. You're going on journeys, you're going within, you're going to find what it is you're looking for. So it's like that. With your thought form, you're going within to find it. So you need to go on a journey to find it. Now, you can use different substances to help you. You can do it with a rune. You can do it with help of deity. You can do it with sigil. You could draw a sigil to create, and you can wear that sigil, sit for the day thinking about it, creating it, and then when you've got it finally in your mind's eye, that's when you bring it into existence. In traditional craft, a lot of people would have servitors, and I remember Alex and Maxine are renownedly known for having servitors to do their bidding. You know, you can use them in so many ways, not just with your magical practice, but you can actually have them as company if you're lonely, or you can have them to guard the home when you're out, or you can have them to go and look on something that maybe you're worried about, a situation. You can send them there and they can come back and tell you what they found out. So you need to know what it is you want. Now, I make them sometimes to help me in my practice or to be company for me when I'm lonely or sad. Just that energy that I'm not alone. It's a really nice thing to have. So how do we go about this? Gouda's very important, guys, and so that's why I always do my drumming. And to get more closer, I use my hand. That is something I will do. Now, above your heart, you can do it at whatever pace you want, but with me, I do it a little bit at this tempo because this is different. This is, I'm going to be making something. So I'm asking my drum, come, help me in my endeavour. So you want to sing a bit of Gouda to aid you. And just let your voice go with it. You can change the tempo into more deliberate, like something's happening, something's growing, something within. And when you feel you've done enough, you stop. So now we are actually thinking about what we want to do, and you might have it in your mind. What do you want to do? Now, in my aspect today, I want to create a male, a man that's strong, what you feel attracted to, because the more you're attracted to it, the more it's going to allow you to design it, to bring it to existence. What do you want from it? Now with me, I like a cuddle. I like to feel the energies around me. So for me, sleeping alone sometimes is very sad. So I like to have a servitor who is just there. He's just there. Now, some people will take it further, and I'm not saying I've ever done that, but there are some witches that will have a relationship with their servitor, and it brings them very close, but it can also get in the way of whatever it is they really want it for. And so I don't go that far, but a cuddle, yeah. Today's video is really just being different, just being real, just telling it as it is. Now, when we made servitors in the coven, it was mainly to protect each other. It was to protect the covenstead and the area around it. So we would program the servitor. Now, how do you program a servitor? Well, once you've got that thought form in your mind's eye, you bring it into substance. Now, if it helps, if you've got pad and paper, guys, it's a good way of transferring your thoughts. Now, when you think about who this is, see them in your mind's eye. So I see somebody who is tall, who is very good looking, who has long hair. So you can draw that by just drawing the features. You don't have to fill them in. The Nordlands, yeah, where my ancestry comes from. So there's your drawing. You've got your drawing. You've put it into existence already because you've taken that from your mind and you've put it on there. So you can make a petition out of that. So before you do that, you put your hand upon it and you visualize that person that this is now, because you've created it already. What you want him to do, where you want him to be. Think very strongly on what he looks like, how it feels to be around him, what he feels like when he's near you, that feeling of a bond starting, and what you really want of him. And these things can be very secret. They can be within your mind, And so you hold your paper and you put your hand on it. You can do things like name him. Tell him that you want him to be your friend, that you want him to comfort you and be there when you need him for safety and things like that. Or you can say to him, I want you to cuddle me at night when I'm lonely. Or you could just say, I need you to help me in what I'm doing with my magic. When I'm going on my journeys, I want you to be with me as my safeguard. Once you've done that, you then roll your piece of paper up and you're going to then fold it so that you can put it on your altar. Yeah. All the time your servitor is alive, you keep this, okay? You're going to then ask deity to help you give the energy to birth it. I'm going to light a candle and you're going to say a few words over this. Okay, going to say, light of life and light of the gift of life, I seek you today to aid me in birthing my servitor, to give it the life, the light of life, to give it the purity, to know its only purpose is what I give it to do, that it need not know how long it be until I tell it so. This is my energy and I proclaim it today. I want this energy to be here for me as a protection when I'm doing my magic, to aid me in my path, on walks, for protection around the house, and a cuddle at night when I'm lonely or sad. I give this to this servitor today that you have become. And I ask Freya to aid me in this purpose today. I keep this as its birth certificate. And until the day I destroy this servitor will survive and live. So mote it be. And you just leave this on your altar, guys. This is about creation, which can bend and focus and change things, so much so that we can create life, but not life as we know it. You can do all sorts of things to make this more of a ritual if you want. I want you to see that magic and a practice doesn't have to be all dress up and very stern rituals. It's about living day to day. It's about encompassing that within your life that you're living, not as a thing on the side that you do when you need to. It should be a daily practice. Like this morning when I got up, I met the sun and do my sacred breaths. It doesn't have to be huge things. A reading of the runes in the morning so you know the day ahead, or just even when you're cooking, just doing a spell in the food for prosperity and nourishment and health. Little things like that. Or you see somebody that's not happy at work and you talk to them and make them feel better. The witch is a social worker, a guide, a helper, a magician, a healer. Always there, always got something for you. And so we should honour that by building ourselves up and knowing what we can do. A scarpadion is basically a thought form which you have created and programmed like you would a crystal. And all the time it's with you. You're the one looking after it. And so you need to keep an eye on it. And that is something a lot of people forget. Like, you can't forget you've designed something. If you've had a child, you can't forget that child is there. It will need feeding and clothing and looking after. Well, a servitor needs to be adjusted sometimes. If something's not working right with it, you need to readjust it and tell it what you need. So a good way of doing that is to name it. Now, I'm going to name mine, and mine is going to be a very strong name. and I want to call him Thorn. Thorn, that is his name, and I'm going to say that. Freya, this servitor, is called Thorn, and so mote it be. Thorn is in existence. He is with me, and when you've done that, you will feel the energy when you need him. So how do you do that, you say? Well, the best way of doing that is to call him like you would if you had somebody in the home and you wanted to call them upstairs, or when you're downstairs calling the kids down. It's the same sort of thing. You get your mind in the right mindset. Say, like tonight when I'm in bed and I'm alone, I will say, Thorn, come to me. I'm lonely, aid me. And then believe it. You will then feel the energy. You will feel this energy around you, and you might even see a shape. You don't always see what you've created, but you will feel that energy, and it will be with you. You will sense it, feel it, and know it's there. And it's there to do your bidding, which doesn't mean you can abuse it, guys, because you've created that. It's come from you. So if you abuse it, you're abusing yourself. So think on that. I hope you're interested in this, guys. I'm doing this off the cuff. I don't want to be so rigid. I want to be more fluid with my filming and how I talk to you. I want a community that can understand what I'm trying to show you and teach you, because there's nothing worse than a boring teacher. So if you like these sort of videos, please put it down in the comment below, and I will do more. We will be doing more. Me and Summer will be going to the graveyard very soon, and we're going to be doing grave rubbings. Over here in England, we have some very old graves, and so I want to do some of that. I want to show her what it's like, and we're going to make contact, hopefully, and also I want to put a light on my mother and father's grave. So we're going to be doing that, and we can talk about magical things while we're doing that, but spiritual content and how to be with your ancestors, or make an ancestor from one of the old residents in the cemetery. So that's something to look forward to, and that should be coming up really soon. I hope this talk on servitors has helped you a bit, because it's not something that all witches like to do, but in my practice it's brilliant, because as I said, he'll come with me on my journeys, and it's like having somebody working with you, and it's great because you can split the jobs and can more concentrate on one aspect, because you know the other aspect's being taken care of. So that's really cool. You can have more than one servitor. Say, for example, I know a witch that she wanted a coven, and she made a coven of servitors, and they were her coven, and she kept them going for a very long time. Thank you to my new subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, I don't ask very often, but if you could subscribe, if you're watching the content regularly, it would be very much appreciated. And also hit that notification bell, because then you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, I will be back really soon. Wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Love.